In bluegrass and contest fiddling, a fun way to lead into a tune is the Walkup Kickoff. I'm Ruth Rowland, and this video will show you all about the Walkup Kickoff, what note to start on, what notes to leave out, and some fun rhythms for you to choose from. If you're new here, subscribe to increase your fiddle skills. When you're doing the Walkup Kickoff, if your tune starts on the key note, the note with the same letter name as the key, like Arkansas Traveler starts on D and it's in the key of D, you want to start your walkup on the fifth note of the scale that belongs to that key. So the D scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the fifth note is A. And so going up from A, yes. There's another A that you could start from. It's a higher A. And you would walk up to the first note of the tune, just like you're walking up to someone who happens to be downhill from you. You're walking up to them, but you're walking downhill. And that might sound like this. You'll notice that I didn't play all of the notes. I skipped one because I only had room for 3 notes. 1 or 1. So how do we know which notes to leave out? Well, there's a fancy way to explain it, and because I'm a fiddle geek, I really enjoy the fancy way, but it's too long of a story for this video, so I'll just tell you the short, simple way, and that's do whatever sounds good. Do whatever sounds right to you. So I chose to leave out the first finger, the F sharp. Okay. And that gets me where I want to be in only 3 notes. We'll play around with this on boiling cabbage in a minute, because the next thing I'm going to show you is if your tune starts on any note other than the key note, you want to start your walk-up on the key note. So, boil cabbage. Is in the key of A. 1, 2, 3. It starts on the 3rd note of the scale. So it doesn't start on the key note. But we only have 2 notes before the first note of the tune. And in order to have a proper walk-up, we really should have 3. So we should add a note, right? And let's figure out which note to add. So option 1, repeat the A. Option 2, add a B flat. Option 3, repeat the B. And option 4, add in a C natural. Let me know in the comments which option you prefer the sound of. Option 1, 2, 3, or 4. You can go back and listen to them each again. And then meet me back here for the nicky nick nick rhythm. So the nicky nick nick is just what it sounds, right? Nicky nick nick. And you can go back and forth with this one. We've been going all down bow for the Walkup Kickoff. It's nice, all down bows like we heard about in the chop kickoff video. All down bows are good. They're very they have a precise rhythm, but with these ones with more notes, we can go back and forth with our bow. And you might have heard that I chose option number 4 as my extra note to lead into boiling cabbage. So there's the nicky nick nick rhythm. There's also son of a gun, I'm tired. And that one, we'll go back to Arkansas Traveler. You might have noticed that unlike Nicky Nick Nick, which I could go back and forth, down and up, I had to do 2 up-bows in a row for the words gun, I'm. Son of a gun, I'm. Right? Another option is to start up-bow on the word son. So just do it to whichever one you prefer. A third option, just a different bowing, and is to slur the first 3 notes. Son of a. If we for that we have to change the word of to a different note, preferably a neighbor note. So a neighbor note is like the note right next door. So if you're starting on the 3rd finger, the upper neighbor would be the 4th finger, and the lower neighbor would be the 2nd finger. And that might sound something like this. Or like this. And you notice that I used a note that's not in the D scale for that last option, but it's kind of my favorite option. I really like it. Do whatever you want. I just wouldn't choose a note that's too far away for that, especially for that middle note. So, to recap, for the walk-up kickoff, if your tune starts on the key note, you want your kickoff to start on the 5th note of the scale. But if your tune starts on any other note, you want to start your walk-up on the key note. So you might have to add a note or leave some notes out in order for this to make it work, but just do whatever sounds good. And you can use other rhythms. You can use any rhythm for a walk-up kickoff, but 2 standard variations are nicky nick nick new and son of a gun, I'm tired. If you enjoyed this and learned stuff, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next one posts. See you soon.